Applying QUIKRETE Translucent Concrete Stain. Any drab, lifeless slab of concrete can be transformed into a warm, decorative surface that provides character to any exterior or interior space with QUIKRETE Translucent Concrete Stains. QUIKRETE Translucent Stains' semi-transparent appearance provides a deep, rich color that highlights the natural variations in any concrete surface. Translucent stain is a safe, water-based, polymer-bonded formula that provides permanent color that will not peel or fade when exposed to weather or UV rays. With translucent concrete stain, a marble-like old-world appearance can be easily achieved without using more complicated etching stains. Before you get started, it is extremely important to determine if your concrete surface has been previously sealed. Translucent stain is a penetrating stain that works by penetrating into the pores of the concrete surface and permanently bonding the color into the concrete. The best way to determine if your concrete has been previously sealed and is porous enough to accept a penetrating stain is to do a water test. Simply pour water onto the surface of the concrete. If the water pools and does not dissipate, it is likely that there is a sealer present. If the water is quickly absorbed into the concrete, your surface will accept the stain. If your concrete has been previously sealed, the sealer must be completely removed with a commercial-grade paint stripper and then pressure washed to remove all of the residue. Once the sealer is removed, the water test should be repeated. Proper surface preparation is required to achieve a beautiful and long-lasting result. Because translucent concrete stain is a penetrating stain, even bare, unsealed concrete must be thoroughly cleaned and etched prior to the application of the stain. This is necessary to ensure that the pores of the concrete will allow absorption of the stain. QUIKRETE Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser is a concentrated, organic, acid-based, commercial-grade cleaner designed to prepare concrete surfaces prior to the application of stains and sealers. Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser effectively removes dirt, light oil stains, and other contaminants and, at the same time, etches the surface of the concrete, which removes the thin top layer of the concrete, making it more porous. Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser is an acid-based formulation that requires the use of waterproof gloves, as well as eye protection and rubber boots. To get started, sweep and remove as much soil and debris as possible from the surface. Then pour in the Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser. Do not use metal containers or tools. They must be plastic to avoid a reaction with the acid. Working in 10-foot by 10-foot sections, pour the cleaner onto the concrete surface. The material should immediately begin to foam, which indicates that it is properly reacting with the concrete surface. Allow the Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser to stand and work for about 60 seconds. Then, using a stiff bristle brush, scrub the surface of the concrete. Be careful not to let the Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser stand on the concrete for more than a minute or so, because it will etch deeply into the surface and can cause the surface to pit. After scrubbing, rinse the concrete thoroughly with water until it runs clear. Then remove excess water with a squeegee. Areas that were saturated with oil or grease should be water tested to assure that they will absorb the stain. If an area repels water, it should be retreated with Cleaner, Etcher and Degreaser. Tough oil stain should be treated with QUIKRETE oil stain remover prior to applying the stain. After the concrete has been cleaned, allow the surface to dry completely. Now that your surface is prepared, mask off the surrounding horizontal and vertical surfaces to protect them from the staining process. Translucent stain will penetrate concrete, masonry, and stucco, permanently staining the surfaces. Make sure you shake the bottle vigorously before using the stain. If you are applying the stain using a garden sprayer, pump the sprayer to its maximum pressure and adjust the nozzle tip to achieve a fine spray stream. Test the pressure and remove all of the air from the hose until a consistent mist is achieved. Do this into a bucket to avoid dripping stain on the concrete. It is important not to release the wand trigger over the concrete, as this may cause the stain to drip from the nozzle tip. Always start each application by spraying into the bucket and then moving the wand over the concrete about 24 inches above the surface. Apply the stain by moving the wand in a circular motion. It's important not to over-apply the stain and avoid creating puddles. If you missed a spot, simply circle back and apply additional stain. If puddles have formed, They can be removed immediately with a sponge. For a more consistent appearance, the surface can be back-rolled with a 3/8-inch nap roller. Make sure the surface is rolled in random directions to avoid roller marks. For a deep, rich, semi-transparent color, translucent stain can also be directly applied with a 3/8-inch nap roller. To achieve a consistent appearance, it is important to remove a majority of the stain from the roller before applying the stain to the concrete surface. Then, roll the stain over the concrete surface in random directions. This will help avoid roller marks. If a darker appearance is preferred, additional coats can be applied 1 hour after the translucent stain is dry to the touch. This usually takes about 4 hours. Coverage rates for translucent concrete stain will vary based on surface texture and porosity. And application method. Typical coverage rates range from 200 to 400 square feet per gallon. When applying more than one color of stain, apply a lighter base color first, and then the darker accent color 1 hour after the first coat has dried to the touch. QUIKRETE Translucent Concrete Stain will dry to a matte finish to enrich the color and protect the stained surface from water, dirt, oils, and grease. Apply QUIKRETE Acrylic High Gloss Sealer. The wet look sealer can be applied with a roller, garden sprayer, or a brush 1 hour after the QUIKRETE concrete stain is dry to the touch. Once your staining project is completed, allow 24 hours before exposing the surface to light use and wait at least 72 hours for automobile traffic. The stains should also only be applied to concrete that is a minimum of 28 days old. With QUIKRETE Translucent Concrete Stain, you can turn ordinary concrete into extraordinary decorative surfaces.